local all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
And right now at 6 o'clock, another COVID wave is on the way, which just makes limiting the spread a little more important. To that end, we'll talk about vaccine availability for kids.
Calls for justice for a man killed while at a festival over the weekend, what his family is saying, and where the search for a suspect stands this morning.
Also, first on Fox 61, the family of a man who was seriously hurt while trying to stop a car theft spoke to us. His girlfriend's message coming up next.
Good morning, sunshine. Rise and shine on this Friday Eve. Hope you're feeling good. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers, waiting for you to say that.
Yeah.
It is not an official day next to Symphony unless we get a good morning sunshine, which applies to all of you out there. And as we take a look out over Hartford, New Haven, curious to see how we're standing there. Still some clouds. There was some rain, and boy, I am guessing there were some thunderstorms overnight because I was woken up by what could kindly be called an explosion sound, but I'm pretty sure it was a lightning strike so close you couldn't hear thunder. It was loud.
We talked about that yesterday, that the Berkshires to Western Mass was going to have a better shot, and you were closer to that than I am.
Yeah,
we didn't get anything on the shoreline.
Something.
Yeah.
It must have been a lightning strike, right?
Well, I hope.
Yeah, seriously. Everything was still intact when I walked outside.
Otherwise, I checked some septic tanks around there.
Oh, no.
It was bad. I got to tell you, there's something in the air. Rachel Piscatelli just ran by, and she said, I had a tough day yesterday. What did you do? You ate too much fudge all day. Well, what is going on here? All right, let's. I hope. Where are they going today? They're going to. Oh,
is she lactose intolerant?
Yeah. Oh God, I have a tough day. I'm going to a spa. All right, Piscatelli. Here's what you need to know. It's a muggy start to Thursday. Just one or two drips out there, not like what Tim was just talking about. Later on, we may get a pop-up storm in. Big humidity, big heat in the 7. We'll talk about that. 68 in Hartford right now, 69 in New Haven, 70 in Bridgeport. Look at the dew points. They're good. We've been talking about this. They're waggling the last couple of days. Kind of humid today, but you notice it does drop off by the 9. That'll set up for what I think is going to be a really nice day tomorrow. One drip. That's it. Over Yukon, moving out of Yukon, Ashford, Eastford, approaching Pomfret, it's nothing. But later on, some splash and dash thunderstorms may be in the picture. Let me just show you the guidance for a second. There it is. I mean, most of you will not get a thing, but if you do, this lights up. There's some booms with that, too. Talk about the numbers and where they're going for the weekend. I think you're going to like the weekend, but I think you're going to like the AC this weekend, too. That's coming up. Lauren Zenzi. Ice cream, fudge, and spa. Where do I sign up for this?
I know. I could use a spa.
Right?
I'd pay big bucks for that. Even 1 hour to myself.
You and me, we're going to management, and we're gonna work something out.
Spa day with weather and traffic. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, everyone. 6:03 here in the CTDOT Traffic Center. Very quiet morning out on the roads. Just some construction cleanup as of right now. Let's take a look in the capital city. Just see some delays on the eastbound side of I-84 and nothing to complain about as of right now. Let's take a live look outside. Hartford, I-91 north and southbound moving just fine. Our Hartford drive times all looking good. Like I said, 91, 84, and Route 2 all crystal clear as of right now. Waterbury construction is cleaned up on the east and westbound side of I-84. Things are looking good and moving smoothly there. And even down in Fairfield County as of right now at 6 o'clock, traffic is moving fine on I-95. We'll check in on the rails and the skies coming up at 6:30, guys.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. Well, the latest COVID variant is now making its way across the country, and it's becoming the dominant strain. But what are health experts saying about it?
Yeah, Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc is live in Hartford with more on that. Julia, good morning to you.
Good morning to you and happy Thursday to everybody out there. We are talking about the BA.5 variant here, and while doctors we spoke with here in Hartford say it does not cause more severe infections, at least that's what they're able to tell so far. However, they are learning that this new variant or subvariant is very highly contagious. So the message from them right now is, even though it's summertime and you might be spending a lot of time outside, do not let your guard down, especially since the CDC says that this variant is now accounting for 64% of all cases across the country. Now, we did catch up with Dr. Syed Hussein with Trinity Health of New England, and he says that Europe is is seeing the brunt of this right now, so we can expect to see the same in several weeks from now. Now, this is all coming, of course, as children as young as 6 months old just recently became eligible to get their COVID-19 vaccines. Now, Connecticut Children's will vaccinate high-risk children by the end of the month, and other people will follow after that.
I think come August, there will be a much wider availability of vaccine for the kids, and time to make sure that as people come back from their vacations and they're sending their kids to either daycare or the school, that hopefully they're fully vaccinated by then.
Now, Dr. Salazar also says that if you are an adult and you haven't gotten your booster yet, or maybe you're not even vaccinated yet, he says that is another way of protecting your children if they haven't gotten their shots yet either. We are live in Hartford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Okay, Julia, thank you. We're just going to keep an eye. The numbers starting to go up a bit in Connecticut, but nothing too alarming. But the variant is spreading across the country. In L.A., health officials said indoor mask mandates could be coming back. That's if hospitalizations continue to increase. Around 10 million people live in LA County, and that mandate, again, if it happens, would include healthcare facilities, shared office spaces, warehouses, retail stores, restaurants, bars, and theaters.
Meantime, it's one step closer for Novavax shots here in the U.S. The FDA giving its clearance for the protein-based vaccine for adults on Wednesday. And now the CDC must recommend it before shots can begin. In anticipation of the clearance, the U.S. has bought more than 3 million doses. Quest Diagnostics says it'll begin testing for monkeypox in the U.S. Now, the company expects to perform about 30,000 tests a week by the end of this month. Now, the test is believed to be the first commercially available test validated under federal regulations. Connecticut recently reported its first case of monkeypox as case numbers continue to rise in the U.S. And another Connecticut hospital is planning to discontinue its labor and delivery department. Trinity Health of New England announced their Johnson Memorial Hospital in Stafford will be undergoing a transformation of services. Several units will be discontinued, including labor and delivery. Trinity Health says the hospital will be prepared to care for all maternity patients in an emergency, but most expectant mothers will deliver their babies at Hartford's St. Francis Hospital. Right now at 6:07, a family is mourning after 32-year-old Ramon Peguero was shot and killed in Bridgeport. A family and friends gathered last night in a vigil calling for justice. And they say he was in Bridgeport for the Puerto Rican Day Parade over the weekend. And police say he was not the intended target and was hit when someone fired into a group of people on their motorcycles.
We want, first of all, for justice to be found, for him, and we want for people to just stop gun violence, because people should be able to go outside and enjoy the things they love to do without having to worry about being hurt.
Oh, that victim is from Hartford. Police, take a look at your screen here. They released some surveillance videos and pictures of the suspects. You see 2 people on a white scooter there on your screen. Now, they hope someone out there knows something about what happened that day. Police say the intended target of that shooting was an 18-year-old who was also shot. He's in critical condition, but police say he is expected to survive. Naugatuck police are searching for the people involved in a serious hit and run that injured a man. Brandon Guth's family says he is now in a coma. His girlfriend, Nicola Frizzell, spoke to Fox 61 first, explaining what happened when he went running to try and stop the suspects from breaking into his vehicle. That's when police say he was hit by another car and was left in the road while the suspects sped off. Frizzell describing what she saw.
Well, I looked out the window and I saw, the accident where he was being swept down the street, and I ran down the stairs afterwards, and that's where I saw him laying down the street.
Well, this comes as Naugatuck has seen a rash of car break-ins. Police say they seized a vehicle related to their investigation. It's now being processed for evidence.
In Hamden, police are urging all of you to please be careful when buying or selling items online, because officers said they're investigating a pair of armed robberies that involved fraudulent car sales listed on social media. They just want to remind you of some common sense safety tips if you're buying or selling, including please be mindful that the person to whom you're speaking may not be who they say they are. This is why you need to meet in a public place like a police department parking lot. Also, don't go alone. Don't carry large amounts of cash. Venmo is your friend here. And don't have any valuables with you, anything that could be stolen right off your person.